Hello, healers and health seekers. It's me, Ichota. Surprise! Healing with medical medium information for 3.5 years now. I'm healing from multiple chronic illnesses, including mast cell activation disorder, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, hypothyroid, dysautonomia, POTS, SIBO, PCOS, gastroparesis, migraines, and a whole host of other things. If you want to know more, information is down in the description box below that will take you to a treasure trove of all about me and tips and tricks. But today I am here for What's Up Wednesday. It's been a while and I'm so sorry, but this is literally the first opportunity I have had to make a video since the last time I made a video. This is Pendleton's tail. Yes, this is Pendleton. Oh yes, he should be in the video. He's so beautiful. Yeah. Oh, you're so beautiful. You are. Okay, so What's Up Wednesday? What's Up Wednesday is when I come in here and I make a video talking about my healing progress and what's been going on with me. And since it's been so long, even though I have lots of video ideas because I haven't been making videos, so all I have is ideas, but I thought I would start back again with what's been going on in my healing journey. If you are someone who watches my videos and has been watching my videos, which is pretty likely at this point because I don't know, with not posting very much, who's gonna be watching my videos. But for those of you, for those of you who don't know me, I've been on this journey for a little over 3.5 years. Oh, I love you so much. Pendleton just really likes to be in the videos. This is my cat, Pendleton. He really likes to be in the videos. He likes everybody to know how beautiful he is. And he is. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy. Okay, so a little about me. I came from being bedridden. So if you're looking at me and thinking, oh, how far have you really progressed or whatever, I couldn't move very much. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand for more than 5 minutes. I was on the sofa most of the day. Anthony now lovingly refers to it as Mattress Island, and that is where I lived, where you're on your bed or on your sofa, or Sofa Island. So I lived on Sofa Island in my house. I was allergic to the world. Literally, I could not go out in the world without a VOG mask, even in my own car. I couldn't drive. I lost the ability to drive because I couldn't do anything. I had no stamina. Deep chronic fatigue syndrome, which I didn't mention, but chronic fatigue syndrome and multiple chemical sensitivity are two other diagnoses that I have and that I lived with. Multiple chemical sensitivity is one that takes a lot longer. I mean, multiple chemical sensitivity, like I'll always have a sensitivity, but my recovery time has gotten significantly quicker. So I was in a wheelchair when I could go out of the house, and my husband would have to push me and he would have to accompany me everywhere. I had some very severe anxiety, depression, PTSD. So many things going on. I filmed 3 videos with symptoms that have improved. Links below. But here I am, and I'm on this healing journey, and it's slow and steady. And I'm perfectly okay with that, because even I think a few months into my healing journey, where I had found some improvement, but I definitely was not 100%. I'm still not. I don't know if in my life I've ever been 100%, so I don't really even know how to measure that anymore. And my story is long, so I really am bottom lining it. I don't know. It's a lot to tell. But suffice it to say, I can walk, I can be in the world again safely. I wouldn't say that I can go every place in the world, but because big chemical exposures still get to me. But again, my recovery time is so much quicker. What used to take me out for weeks and sometimes months, now it's like a matter of a couple hours at the most. So that's amazing. And it's amazing because I can drive again, and I can walk again, and I can go on hikes, and I can do things with my family, and I don't need to be in a wheelchair, and I keep getting better and better all the time. Now, that being said, we are currently in a very high stress situation because we relocated, and we were going to relocate to Colorado, and we ended up where our families live, which is in the Midwest. And we thought, okay, when we decided to stay here instead, we were like, oh, it's no big deal. We brought our RV, which is where I am. We thought, oh, it's no big deal. You know, we'll just stay in the RV a couple months while we look for a house. My husband gets a job, etc., etc. Well, my husband has a job. We have an income. We have a down payment for a house. We're ready to go. We have been looking for a house for months now, and we have been in this RV for a total of 6.5 months now. We thought at the most we'd be in here like 2-3 months, and it's been 6.5 months. It's getting colder. It's winter. It's a very high stress environment because we're in a very industrial area. There's not very much nature here. There's a lot of just chemical stuff going on outside. It's very hard for me to be able to go on walks because every single time I step outside the RV, there's some kind of like diesel fuel or very strong chemical smell. I don't know. It's usually like kind of a diesely or oily or like something like that. Like it's, I don't know, this area is just full of it, and I don't exactly know what's in the area specifically that always is making that smell. It's not even the RV park, which is surprising because you would think with all the RVs and trucks that a lot of the workers who are staying here right now have, but it's actually not even that. There's something else in this area that, so every time, I always feel a little worse when I go out to take a walk, which is horrible because I need to get outside. Anyway, so that's been very stressful, and we've been trying to figure out solutions. And I mean, we've in the meanwhile been looking at housing. We've been looking at rentals, and we haven't been looking at very many rentals because rentals tend to be like, for chemical exposure and stuff like that, rentals tend to be a little bit worse than actual houses. You know, there's chemical exposure. Everybody puts a fresh coat of paint and some new carpeting to prepare for the next renter. And that's what we found is everybody does, and I react to those things. They make me sick, so I can't really deal with the toxins, the off-gassing. Nobody's using the safe no VOC paint. Anyway, chemical exposures are tough, and so we've been trying to find a solution and just somewhere we can stay for the winter that's not the RV because it's cold. It gets cold in here, and it's not super well insulated. And it's just such a tiny little space, and I haven't been able to do my lymphatic support of rebounding or moving regularly and stuff like that, and it's definitely showing, and I'm definitely feeling it. And I can't take a bath because all we have in here is just this shower. And why is a bath important? Because detox baths are important, and Mama needs a detox bath real bad. So I you know, right now, a solution we're looking at is, so my husband has been trying to prepare his parents' home for the past few weeks now. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but he has been going over there and like taking out all of their chemical products, and they still live there. So they have been willing to go chemical free with, you know, his help. Like, what do we use? What do we do? How do we do this? Which is amazing that they've been willing to do that. I wouldn't have expected it. Like, really. They have a big house that really has plenty of space. They don't even use their downstairs at all. It's not really a split level, but it's a little bit of like an open concept basement. I don't know how to explain that. There's like a tree growing up through their house, and there's these huge windows and that go into the basement, and so the basement's not really a basement. So there's a bedroom, an office, and a billiards room down there in addition to the family room area, the living area, and the living area has like a wet bar with countertop. And anyway, it's actually possible, maybe. I mean, I have to go in and double check, but it might be possible to set up an equivalent kitchen in there. There is a refrigerator downstairs, so that we could keep our food in it. It would be separate. Maybe it could work. We're not sure. He's trying really hard to dechemicalize the house. They actually haven't gone downstairs in a couple of years, which helps. So it's just been kind of sitting, and so he's been trying to air it out, and he's been trying to take all of their chemical products out so that I could safely be in the house. So that we could all safely be in the house, to be honest, including them. We'll see if it works. I haven't gone in yet because he's still kind of working on a couple things. So then we're going to see if I can go in, and maybe we'll try that for the winter. And then we can still keep looking for a house and take detox baths, and I can rebound. And they even have a treadmill, so I mean, they have a neighborhood too that I can walk around in that's not going to be so chemically smelling. Yeah, so there will be a lot more opportunity for me to work with my lymphatic system and really help it move. Whew. Okay, so that's a possibility, and we'll see if it works. Obviously, there's some issues with it, and there's other complications that could arise of just, that whole situation, but we'll see. We'll see if it's meant to be. We'll see if it works out. I don't know. But let's see. The other thing, because of being in here long term under all the stress and having all the adrenaline going, there are things happening, like adrenaline is causing inflammation in my body, which is a little bit causing some symptoms to flare. Not too bad though, surprisingly. Honestly, I'm so much more functional than I thought I'd be. It kind of blows my mind, because I'm like, wow, I've healed enough that I can actually still be relatively functional under this continued level of stress. I can't guarantee this is going to hold up or whatever, but it has for these whole 6 months. Like, I still see healing gains happening, even though sometimes some of my symptoms are flaring, like strep. I don't know if I picked up a new strain of strep or if this is the old strep that's just like so freaking tenacious and won't go. It's hard because with strep and some of the things you do for strep, like golden seal, which is a really big, important herb to take for strep symptoms, you have to pulse golden seal 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and then after 3 months you take a month-long break, which I'm in the middle of, and then you go back on it. So my strep symptoms, like acne, and then I have some urinary symptoms from strep, and then I have a little bit of, I don't know, just like mucus stuff, like post-nasal drip kind of stuff. I'm trying to think if I have any other symptoms that are strep related, but those are my big ones, I think, that I have, and that's what's flaring. So my husband and I, whenever another RV leaves the park, we go, oh, they're escaping. There are, surprisingly, a lot more long-term residents here. Like, we just kind of thought we might be the only ones hanging out here this late in the season, this close to winter. But in fact, there are at least a dozen RVs here with us. And, people work and have jobs. They're gone most of the day, and then they come back at night. So I was surprised, because this is a very cold part of the country. And it's not a place I would think you would choose to be. But there are actually ways to insulate RVs to make them more winter friendly, and people can do it. We've never done it because our RV has never seen winter other than in storage. So this is a first for us, and not a first we wanted to do. So we've done a couple of things at least to insulate the water lines, but we haven't really done much to insulate the rest of the RV yet, because we're still holding out hope that we don't have to. Please. That there will be a way that we can put the RV in storage and put ourselves into a better space, at least for winter, and then until we can find a house. It's so weird to be in this situation, because it's like, we have the money for a house, we have an income, we have the credit, we have everything it takes to get a house except the house. it's been really tricky with my chemical sensitivities, and then just with our needs and finding something that might work for us. And this is not the season to be looking now, because nobody's trying to sell a house during the holidays, except flippers, which I can't go into flipper houses because of the fresh surfaces. Anyway, so yeah, I just totally lost what I was talking about, but welcome to my brain. Oh, I'm talking about my symptoms. That's one. Actually, my short-term memory is gone lately. The stress is just, the adrenaline has just fried, probably quite literally, like fried my memory. So that has been, I've had to write everything down again, which I got used to that during my chronic illness. Again, I had no short-term memory. It really affected my memory. I had a concussion, was one of the triggers, one of the more than one trigger that really sent my health downhill. Is I had this concussion in January of 2012 that I never seemed to recover from. And it was supposed to be a mild concussion, like according to all the doctors. They're like, oh, this is no big deal, it's mild, you should recover in a few months. Although, in the emergency room, they did tell me, the doctors did say, women over 40 can have issues recovering from concussions, even mild ones, and especially if you've had more than one concussion, which I have in my lifetime. Now, granted, the other ones that I had were in my youth, like in my teens and 20s. But I have had more than one. I have had more than two. I think I've had 3. I think that's the total, but one is more than you should ever have, because it can affect your brain. Anyway, cumulatively, that does have an effect, and it was triggered. It was not the cause of my illness or the stuff that went wrong, but it definitely was a trigger, and it definitely had a huge detrimental effect. The neurological stuff has definitely been long road. However, I have made progress, and I am delighted with the progress that I've made, and I know that it's healing, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for medical medium information, because I do know that I'm healing. And, okay, so, like I said, I have still seen gains in my healing, which kind of blows my mind, because with all this adrenal stress, adrenaline being one of the favorite food of the pathogens, which are the root cause of my chronic illnesses and all of my symptoms, viruses and bacteria, pathogens, adrenaline is their favorite food, like favorite food, even more than the no foods adrenaline. And so much adrenaline has been going through me lately, and I have tools. I have tools to help calm me down, and I have tools to help me cope, and I have tools to help me literally breathe, just coming back to my breath and centering myself in my body. Sometimes I put my hand on my heart and I just breathe deep into my body, and I take a few deep breaths, and I say I love you to myself, and I send love to myself, and I breathe. And I feel my feet on the floor, and when I feel my feet on the floor, I'm grounding. It's like a grounding exercise. It grounds me into my body. And every single night and every single morning, before I go to sleep and when I wake up, I say, I ask the angels. I ask the angel of light, the angel of air, the angel of deliverance, the unknown angels, and my guardian angel. I ask them to please help me clear out of my energy field the energy of all people, places, things, and entities. Return them to the source of their origin, transmute them into light, and heal them to completion now. And then I ask them to help me return to my body, all of the parts of myself, all of the parts of my mind, soul, and spirit back home to my body. So I'm calling myself back, and I'm disengaging from any energies that may have attached to me throughout the day. And sometimes I do that multiple times a day, not just in the morning and not just at night, because sometimes I need to. Like if I feel myself I feel that adrenaline going, or I feel myself being pulled into sort of the swirly darkness, which sometimes happens, I go, okay, angels, and I called them all, and I ask them for that, and I repeat that. I've said it so many times that now it comes naturally, and I can just say it like that. But I wrote it down at first. And that is such an incredibly helpful exercise. I mean, it is so incredibly helpful. And I have tools. I do a call with Eileen Crispell once a month. She is a shaman, and she has helped me so incredibly much. She is literally, she's my goals. Like, she's who I want to be when I grow up, even though she's younger than me. She's an amazing woman, and she's so grounded, and she's, you know, done this shamanic practice for some time. I don't even know how long, but she's really good at it. She is such a mama bear energy. She just has that like soft mama energy, that mother maternal, and she is just grounded, you know, and she helps me just ground, and she's been such an amazing support. And the reason I mention her name is that you can book her for sessions, and I will leave a link down below, because she is just such an incredible support. And other incredible supports I have in my life are my sister circle, which is a group of women that I was grouped up with when I did Muniza's Detox Mastery program back in 2017. And in the program, we would meet once a week via Skype, or actually it's Facebook Messenger that we use. But so there's 6 of us, and at least 4 of us regularly are in the call, and the other, you know, it's people will kind of come in and out sometimes, but every week for 2 years now and counting, we have been meeting and supporting each other. And some of us talk in between. We all try to, but we're in different parts of the world, some of us. So, and then there are other people who, through social media and in the medical medium community and this channel, I have met, and we talk regularly, sometimes, semi-regularly, but we have developed relationships, and that has been just, oh my gosh, such an incredible support. It is such an incredible support to have other people who are on this healing journey to talk to, because they get it. Even if we didn't have like the exact same symptoms or the exact same diagnosis, it doesn't matter. We've been through chronic illness. We understand that part of it, and there's trauma with that. You know, there's trauma with chronic illness, and even if that's the only trauma somebody's ever gone through, which it usually isn't, people who have chronic illness, in my experience, tend to have had other traumas in their lives as well. There's just this understanding that other people don't have, no matter how supportive they are. You know what I mean? And so it's just so amazing to have that. So I have tools. I have these tools. And I listen to Matt Kahn, and I listen to the medical medium, and I have all of the angels through the medical medium information, and I have the meditations that the medical medium gives us, and those are so incredibly helpful and supportive on a spiritual and emotional level. I highly recommend, if you are doing the medical medium information, don't just do the food. Look in the backs of the books, do the meditations, talk to the angels. It does make a difference. Follow all the information, not just the food part and not just the supplements part. Like, it's a whole approach. It's a whole life changing, healing modality, lifestyle. So it's important to have all of that. Yeah. And I have had all of that, and that's been a great support. And I can't imagine where I'd be without that. Like, in this situation, so much adrenaline, like I just would be I couldn't even possibly imagine it. I don't think. It just wouldn't be possible. So, so that has been a great support for me. And, you know, the stress just keeps coming, because it's hard in here. It's hard in here. When we use the RV for traveling, and we're traveling and going to different destinations, and it's so fun. It's so much fun, and it's relaxing, and it's delightful, and it's great. But when we are stationary in the RV and kind of stuck, and we're stationary in an area that's not conducive to us, like going outside a lot and getting movement in our bodies and getting fresh air, because there's not fresh air outside. It's all very chemicalized and toxic. Yeah. Looking forward to You know, medical medium says all things pass. All storms pass. Nothing stays the same. But this storm has been a stormin' for a really long time, and so it's a lot. It's a lot. So inflammation in my body, and I'm sure I've gained weight. There's no scale in here, but I don't know, my clothes still fit a little bit loose, and so that it's kind of hard to tell, but my body feels larger, and I don't know, it feels more bloated, and I feel puffier, and I feel ugh. So, and I know, like, I haven't been able to move. Like, how am I gonna keep, even on a whole foods plant-based with no foods in it? So I have talked so long. I was gonna talk about the fat experiment that I did, but you know what? I'm gonna just do another video for that because this has already gone really long and it's been a lot. So anyway, that's where I am, and so I don't know. This video may have been kind of rambly. Let's just say I'm rusty. I haven't done a video in a while, and I so miss it. I miss you guys. I miss our dialogue. I miss your comments. Oh my gosh, please tell me how you've been doing in the comments. Please, please, please. Whoever is watching this video, I don't care if you've never commented before. Please tell me how you're doing in the comments. I want to hear from you. I miss you guys so much. I feel like there's this whole part of me that's sort of cut off because I got really accustomed to having your comments and being able to talk to you guys, and I so value that. You know, you're a part of my toolbox. Like, my interaction with you is a part of that, is a part of the support for me, believe it or not. Even if you think you're asking me questions for me to support you and me to help you, it helps me. I'm not even kidding you. Please ask your questions because it helps me on my journey to be able to support you. It lifts me up, and it means everything. Like, I love it. I love it so much, and it's fulfilling to be able to help people on their journey and answer their questions and stuff like that. Because, you know, I've been at this a while, so I can answer some questions, and I might have tips and tricks and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I have a whole library of videos at this point that have some of them in them, and I've got more brewing to tell you. It's just finding the time to make the videos. But here I am. This is great. I'm excited. I'm so happy to be here and happy to be back. I'm happy to have you here. Please, please, please comment below. I'm serious, like, really, please. And I know that sometimes you can't, and I totally appreciate that. I know there are times when it's not possible. Even just your being here, it's enough, just so you know. I love you so much, my healers and health seekers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for your questions and your comments and your love and your support. And thank you for being interested in your own healing and for taking stock of your own healing and for taking charge of it and for being here. And thank you for your curiosity and thank you for your presence. And if you like this video, give a thumbs up below. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to by hitting the subscribe button over there, and I highly recommend hitting the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post a new video because of my inconsistent upload schedule currently. There will be a time when I will be back to a consistent schedule, a fairly consistent schedule, but right now it's all up in the air. So hopefully I have some tips and tricks that I can get out and do. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, which is hopefully soon. I love you so much. Bye-bye.